Cool. This is the start of probably a podcast. It is probably different than anything else. And this might not even make it. It is a pilot episode, so to speak. This is the podcast of I am driving home and oh hey, the moon is orange tonight and that's fun. I always forget how that's supposed to happen. Like it's the moon is white most of the time or some similar color, but sometimes it's orange. And tonight is one of those nights. This podcast is essentially I'm driving home and I'm going to talk about it from work. It's not going to be super long episodes, or maybe I'll string a couple together and it'll be an hour. But from my work to my home is about 20 minutes, so and it's not going to be important talk. It's just whatever's on my mind. So if you're looking for something interesting, you've probably not found the right podcast or whatever. The name, that's important. Let's talk about that first. Also, this is also a tester because, it's because one, I can't talk. If you couldn't tell, I trip over my words all the time. And two, I don't have a mic, at least not currently, because it's just, I'm recording a video on my phone. But my phone is face down, so I can't really look at it, and I'm driving. So that's an issue that I will deal with when I go over this video. So, and maybe there'll be some visual at some point, but for now, let's talk about the name, because I'm still not 100% on that. Thinking about it, the driving home podcast, maybe, or something, or maybe it's not even a podcast. I don't know exactly what constitutes a podcast, as I feel like having guests on is a no-no, since they would be like 20 minutes a day at most. I don't know. The going home podcast, leaving work podcast. I think going home podcast, or the drive home podcast. I kind of like that. The drive home podcast. I'm gonna stick with that for now. But anyway, I just got out of work. I closed today, so that was its own bag of worms. I ended up going in a couple hours earlier than I usually do because another coworker had to call out, and that was fine. I wasn't going to work too many hours today, so. And I'm not exactly working a job that pays a lot of money, which is its own bag of worms. But if you couldn't tell, I've always been bad at talking. It's a skill I don't have. But what I do have is the ability to think of stupid stuff and to go through with it. Oh yeah, that's a podcast thing. Stories. But love a good story. So I guess we can start with one of the stupid things I've done. Many stupid things. There's a lot of them. Like maybe one an episode until I run out. And then maybe one will catch on. I don't know. That's meta and that's stupid for a podcast. At least the meta part is. But anyway, stupid story time. So once upon a time, back in high school, which for me was, I've been out of high school for 2 years, two and a half, I don't know. Basically, I've been out of school for a couple of years at this point. So this is probably... Well, now I gotta remember what it's called. I guess junior year, probably. Let's say that. Let's say junior year. That sounds about right. So junior year of high school. We had a fire drill nearly right after school started that morning. And we all went outside, and I got lucky enough because a lot of my friends were in adjacent classrooms and stuff. So it was just a bunch of the friends hanging out. And one of my friends I hadn't talked to in quite a while because he was moving around or some junk. So let's call him Friend A. Friend A comes out with like a mostly drank bottle of Gatorade. I don't care for Gatorade, but he was just like, anyone want this? And at the time, I think I was kind of parched. I had some water in my bag, and I just didn't really care. So I was, and no one else wanted it, and he just was kind of giving it away. And I was like, sure, whatever, I'll drink it. It doesn't matter. I don't care. We were just sitting outside doing nothing. It was a fire drill, but it was going on way too long. I think we were out there for like half an hour for a drill, which was stupid. So anyway, there wasn't even all that much. It was less than like half of a glass. It was like near the bottom. And I drank it. It was pink Gatorade, which I hadn't seen before. And that was fine. That was fine. And then Friend B was probably my main school friend at the time who I'd hang out with at school, and he was actually in the class that I had been in when the fire drill had started. So, and he's a bit wild in a funny way, But so Friend B, he brings out, I think, half gallon, like one of those skinny like containers. Like it's not like a gallon. I want to say it's a quarter of a gallon, but I think it's just half a gallon of like chocolate milk or something, and then like a single serve. I don't know what you call it. At a gas station or something, you can go inside and they have like the bottles of like orange juice or something. He had one of those too. And so he remembered that back in middle school, which is a story for a different day, that I used to chug water in class when the teacher wasn't looking, and everyone would look at me and laugh. Is the short version. So he then told me to chug as many drinks as I could, basically. And so that was the challenge of that day. So I think, I chugged a half gallon of chocolate milk, which I don't even know why he had it, but he decided to send it to a better cause, which was comedic entertainment. So can't blame him for that. Plus I got free drinks out of it, so it wasn't bad. So I chugged that as quickly as I could. Yeah, like I'm not super good at chugging stuff, but it was funny. And like I had to take breaks. Well, I held it above my head the whole time, but it wasn't always me drinking it. So anyway, I did that right after I drank the orange juice. Now, orange juice is fun. Like I liked. Well, I wasn't super excited about the Gatorade, but I was fine with it. Now, I said I was parched earlier, so that's why I kind of took the pink Gatorade. So maybe it was Powerade. I don't know if there's a difference. But basically, I decided that it would be a good idea at the time, in that point in my life, to bring 2 bottles of water with me to school, as well as like some granola bars or something. So I could, I don't know. I was always hungry. I was always hungry in high school. Super hungry the whole time. So I ended up, so I guess after I chugged the chocolate milk and orange juice, which was probably not a good combo, I brought out 2 water bottles from my backpack because, like, I end up chugging water, like, passively. Like, if it's in a bottle, I'm gonna chug it. If it's, like, water or something that, like, I don't know. I can't do it with soda because of the fizz or the carbonation. But if it's something like water or milk, I'll probably chug it for the most part. If it's just something I need to drink, or if I'm gonna drink it. To add on to the joke that I just chugged, little bit of pink Gatorade plus a half gallon of chocolate milk plus like I guess, is it like a 1 liter bottle? I don't know, like standard bottle sizes or whatever, of orange juice. I guess it would have been 2 liters, I guess, or something like that, of water. And then right after I would, or maybe it was in between the water bottles, I ate like my granola and stuff, because that was, because I didn't want to be stuck outside without access to a water fountain after eating like the granola and stuff, because it would dry out my mouth. So I must have eaten that in between and then chugged the waters. And that was probably bringing out the waters was the worst idea. If it was just the chocolate milk, Gatorade, orange juice combo, that might not have been the worst thing to happen to me. But, you know, the whole thing was stupid. Anyway, shortly after I chugged the waters, I was fine for the most part, for a while. And then I guess whenever I had lunch at the time, because I went to a vocational school for the second half of the day, which that was, I think, like a half an hour trip or something. If I remember correctly, it would have been around, I guess 11, probably 11. So around 11, I would go and eat lunch, and I don't remember the entirety of how it all happened, but basically, because I drank more fluid than should be consumed in a whole day within the span of like 15 minutes, I repeatedly went to the bathroom all day long. Which, you know, if you've been paying attention, that was the end result, obviously. But it was an interesting day, because it was repeatedly, how often will I have to go to the bathroom? I had to be on a bus for about half an hour. I was worried I was gonna pee my pants in high school. That shouldn't happen. That actually reminds me of another story I won't be talking about, but we'll talk about that another day. But that was my stupid story, because I think at the time I was always, I don't know, I was nervous around people. I had like my friend group, but if I had to talk to anyone who wasn't in my friend group, I was the shy person. So you could barely get a peep out of me. I always hate that about myself, but I don't know, it's what makes me different, so it's something. It was funny, so it was a funny day, having to run to the bathroom in between and during classes. I don't think I actively had to explain to a single teacher how much I had to go to the bathroom, though I don't think they were very happy about it. That was the most interesting part, is that the repeated attempts to go to the bathroom were not caught somehow. I used to have an iron bladder, so to speak, so I think that kind of helped with it. Like, I can hold it in for a while. But, yeah, no, that was not a fun day for me in the long run. But it was funny at the beginning, so. You know, stupid people do stupid things, I guess. I think this will be it for this episode, just because I need to get gas tonight. And that would be a boring pause, come back, and I don't know how to edit stuff. So, for now, this will be a good tester video, I'll say that. I did say a funny story. So this is I forgot the name of the podcast already. I said it earlier, and I had this idea in my head since a couple days ago. It's the Drive Home podcast. I guess. Something like that. So if this makes it to the internet, good for me. It probably won't get anywhere, but it was funny doing it once. So I'll see you guys in the next one, or I won't. Bye.